The Electric City Water Park has announced it will be shutting off the jets sooner than expected this year. Officials say a lifeguard shortage has forced them to cut this season short. MTN's Quentin Shores spoke with staff and shares why staffing has been such a big challenge this year.
Nothing screams summer like a water park. The smell of sunscreen, classic 80s rock, and running when you're not supposed to. It's amazing. And as the Electric City Water Park ends its summer season, I've come to ask them how they've been doing this time around given the very inconsistent weather.
Very abnormal weather. So that's caused a few early closures, and then as well as early June, we had some not so great weather. So
I spoke with aquatic coordinator Brooke Blair, who told me that a mix of bad weather and back to school season starting has forced Electric City Water Park to close its doors early this year. The park intends to open up longer for special events here and there, such as the dog event Drool in the Pool this September 6th, but they do require more staffing.
But we do training all year round, so we do need a minimum of 5 for the class. So if anybody wants to do that, they can just go to Aim High and sign up.
Otherwise, things have gone pretty well for the park this summer, as I learned from lifeguard Kingsley McBride. This is her first season as a lifeguard, but she has so much experience and skill that she was declared the lifeguard of that season. McBride says that the crowds this summer have gotten pretty big.
It's been busy on especially the hot days, but it's still been pretty full on the more cooler days.
With the addition of the new splash pad and the amount of green space available for those who don't necessarily want to swim, there is so much to do at the park on a hot summer day. So it makes sense that the park often reaches max capacity, but for days like this, the lifeguards come prepared.
In terms of keeping track of people to prevent any possible injuries or situations, we often we can increase the people that are watching, and we also make sure that all of our stations clearly view every patron in the area.
In Great Falls, I'm Quentin Shores, MTN News.
Well, we're following all the economic indicators that show the impact of tariffs, and this week the Producer Price Index, which tracks changes in sellers' price points, surged unexpectedly. Scripps News Group's business and tech correspondent Maura Barrett breaks down exactly what it means for consumers.
While the Producer Price Index, or the PPI, doesn't include tariffs specifically, it's one of several factors that signal the sweeping taxes on imports are pushing costs up. And for the American consumer, that means that still higher prices are on the way. All eyes are on inflation indicators as President Donald Trump's tariffs ripple through the supply chains that bring us everything from groceries to clothing to vehicles.
I think the evidence is pretty much clearly showing that it is the importer that is bearing the cost of the tariffs. And right now, that is largely U.S. businesses.
Despite the president insisting he wants big businesses to eat the costs of tariffs, new Goldman Sachs research projecting businesses will pass on higher price increases come fall. President Trump doubling down on social media, saying tariffs haven't caused any problems for America.
If you look at the pre-tariff import price, they have actually risen slightly. Now, if the foreign exporter was absorbing the tariff, those prices would fall.
But that's not the case. So some U.S. businesses, like grocery store chain owner Stu Leonard, have gotten creative, splitting costs with producers for now.
The cost has gone up for both of us. Everybody is complaining about the food store prices. Look, we don't want to raise prices. I mean, we're not trying to do it.
New data Friday from the University of Michigan shows consumer sentiment declining 5% in August, the first downturn in 4 months. But credit card spending is up, its highest since January, according to a Bank of America analysis. Most concerning in that analysis, a widening gap between income and spending for lower income households. This is an example of how tariffs can be harmful for both businesses and consumers. If businesses, especially small ones, are absorbing these costs, and that means that's money they're not spending elsewhere in the economy. Maura Barrett, Scripps News Group, Chicago.